Alright, back with another update of the Project 131 Tiger One Tiger Tank from Tamiya. And when you get this kit, there are several different variations of this kit that you need to be aware of when you first open the instructions, and they're kind enough to point that out. A, B, C, and D are different type of versions, and they may have or may not have different corresponding parts that lead up to that. So you have to be mindful of what version you're making. They have the demarcation numbers here. I selected the 131 because that's the project I'm working on. And as you go through the manual, you just be careful. They have them labeled A, B, or D, or C, and just be mindful as you go along. Now, the basic plan with this kit is I want to make this as it was as close as I can get to the tank that was captured in the 1940s by the British. And there's some conflicting photographs floating around on the internet. Imagine that. And what it is the damage. Okay, these photos here in black and white, and I also have them in color. But these photos here are the more recent ones. I believe this one was taken in 2009 over in the UK tank show. They also have this in the museum over there. And there was a certain amount of restoration done to this vehicle, and they got it up and running. It's one of the only fully operational tanks out there in the Tiger One version. So the basic difference is in this version here, there's no skirt damage along and through here, and yet I saw earlier photos where there was. Also too, there's damage underneath the gun mantle here. Now, I don't know if they fixed that or left it alone, but there are subscribers of mine that live in the UK that actually visited this vehicle. They know far more about it than I do. I assume they left the damage as is, because they left this damage here in the back. And it's clear that the British were up to speed as far as the vulnerable part of this vehicle, which was the tail end of it, because it received a lot of gunfire damage, crinkling all through the metal here, so some sort of high pressure charges were going off around it. A little bit of minor damage along the grill plating up here. Nothing too formidable, and they had some more damage along the storage bins up here along the turret. Small arm fire penetrated through that metal there, and see even a bigger gaping hole there. But noticeably, the front end of the tank was barely untouched. Except for the shell that lodged in there to jam the turret, and that's the main reason why the Germans fled and left the tank, which they weren't supposed to do. They were supposed to scuttle this thing when they left. But that's the short history lesson that I'm aware of. Sorry for any inaccuracies or whatever, but that's the way it goes. Now, I did get the gun barrel in from a company in the UK, or not the UK, but the Ukrainian. And that's the model number there. And I also picked up the tank tracks from the same company, although he didn't personally make these, he's just selling them. I believe a different company is making them from that, and that's what these two packages are here. These are the metal version versus the resin version I was originally going to get. I decided I wanted to go with these. These were like $10 more. There is a little bit of prep work that needs to be done with this as far as, you know, reaming out the holes to make them, and they give you this wire here that will act as the pivot joints for all that. And he was also kind enough to give me a little bonus tow cable. He threw that in for free, so that was kind of nice. Let's see. So I'll just have to be mindful and label which is the left and which is the right. But these are got some ballast to them, which will give some weight to the tank, which will be nice. suspension does not move on this kit anyway. It's all stable, so that shouldn't be an issue. Color choices, I'm going with this particular kit. Base color was black, then I shot it with gloss aluminum, Tamiya, and then I went over it with Tamiya wood deck, which will simulate the shade, slight shade darker, because this there is a two-tone effect going on through here, which Tamiya missed when they first originally popped this kit, because they make no mention of it being a two-tone vehicle. They want you to paint it just dark yellow on their instruction paint sheet. So, but I'm going to stick to the original plan. Now that I have this darker color in, I'm going to go ahead and mask this off and then shoot it with the finer, lighter color, the dark yellow, the XF60. And I also did the same thing with the gun turret here. This is also primed and ready to go with the metal gun barrel that's friction fitted in there. I'm not going to glue that in. I also went ahead and added the cables in for the launchers here, which did not come with the kit. That's 30 gauge magnet wire I use for that. And then I put the little charges in there for that. And I put in the battle damage underneath the gun mantle and through here, and I have that masked off with the micro mask. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot this with the final body color and then be done with that. And a final note about the gun barrel itself. This is the kit supplied one that I was using as a reference toward the new one that I got in, and I had to lob off a good 1/4 inch, maybe more, off of that to make this fit, because the aftermarket one was too long. It stuck out that much extra. So that's what I had to cut off. And also, I may have mentioned earlier, no instructions with this at all. With the tank tread tracks here, there are kind of instructions that vaguely tell you what you need to do. You need to use a .05 drill bit, re-rim these out in order for this wire to fit in, and then you CA the end of that. So that's where we're at with that.